Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Tuesday the 10th of December. Thanks again for watching. As always, the site here is kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. It's when you come back and use the site and use the various different charts we've got on here, that's what keeps us free of charge, so thanks for doing that. Now, a change in pattern taking place during the next week. We get the jet stream back to visitors. Hasn't been around for some time, has it? Coming in from the southwest, and what that's going to do is bring some outbreaks of rain and some fairly strong winds with it. Now, most of the rain looks as if it's going to be across western parts of Scotland, across the western parts of Ireland, running down through northwest England, and perhaps possibly western parts of Wales as well. This is total rainfall up to next Friday from the Canadian GEM model. Now, don't take too much notice as to the actual amount of rainfall. Really, it's a case of just showing us where most rainfall is. And with the southwesterly, of course, you would expect most of that rain to be across western coasts and hills. You notice here the bluer and purple colours showing dry conditions the further east you head. So certainly things look like changing. And on the mean of the 7 to 10 500 millibar flow here from the ECMWF on the left and the GFS on the right, this is valid for next Tuesday through to Friday the 20th of December. And you can see here the jet stream coming in across the Atlantic on both sets of charts here. Got quite a trough out towards the west too on both the GFS and the ECMWF, with a ridge across central and eastern parts of Europe. Both charts looking very similar, builds confidence in the forecast, and actually virtually every model is saying, yeah, that southwesterly is going to be building in. The big problem is what happens after that. Now, temperature-wise, looking fairly stable. Yes, we've got a few cool days ahead, but actually you can see here temperatures sort of bouncing around up until about the 18th or 19th, holding at around 9 or so degrees across southern parts of the country. Then we see a very slow fall-off, which is something that the GFS ensemble has been hinting at for several days, just pulling off temperatures by a degree or so, but there's no way that it's going to be particularly very cold. And looking at the chart for Glasgow, similar story there. More of a dip in temperatures really during the middle part of next week and then heading into the Christmas period. But again, it's not cold by any means. It may just be that the wind, instead of being a southwesterly, actually comes round more into a west or even a west-northwesterly as time progresses. But notice the green bars on here, that's rainfall, and you can see virtually every time period has got some rainfall in there. So certainly more unsettled weather. So here's how the next few days then shape up. This is the chart for today, Tuesday. We've got the southerly flow generally across the country, bringing dry conditions across central and eastern areas. More cloud, though, out towards the west, where we've got some drizzle affecting western coast, and pretty breezy across western Scotland and western Ireland too. Now for Wednesday, still high pressure is in control, centred off towards the east. The winds south or southeasterly, dry for most areas, just some bits and pieces of drizzle affecting western coasts and hills of Scotland, but dry for many with just a fair amount of cloud. Thursday starts to see a change take place. Some weak fronts just coming into Ireland and Scotland, bringing more in the way of rain through these areas, but generally dry across much of England and Wales, at least until the afternoon, but then some rain slipping into northwest England and the west of Wales, but it's dry across central and eastern areas. Friday the 13th, yeah, that famous date, shows a southwesterly wind blowing across all areas, bringing some cloud and some outbreaks of rain. Again, it looks as if most of the rain is going to be through more central southern parts of England, where some of it could be quite heavy at times, but towards the north and the west, drier for a time before more rain comes into western Scotland and western Ireland later. And then on to Saturday, when high pressure again is down towards the southeast, but this warm front and the low pressure area out towards the west, really the first signs of changing conditions. So the wind's going round more into a southwesterly, bringing some cloud and some drizzle across southern and western coasts and hills. Dry through central and eastern parts of England and the east of Scotland, but out towards the west, ever gathering cloud, more rain coming in, and that then sets us up onto this southwesterly for next week. Milder, windier, wetter conditions. And then for Sunday, well, weak cold front just slipping southeastwards during Sunday again takes some more outbreaks of rain with it. And you notice there a much more unsettled pattern with a west to southwesterly wind blowing fronts in, blowing in showers or longer outbreaks of rain. So again, it is going to be a more unsettled day. And as I said earlier, really the problem is deciding what happens after that. This is the forecast for week 1 from the CFS up to the 16th of December, and it shows high the normal heights to the east, low the normal out towards the west, and this south or southeasterly flow. Some fronts brushing western areas, so bringing the outbreaks of rain and cloud there, dry out towards the east. Now on to week 2 from the 17th to the 23rd, so this is next Tuesday going forward to the 23rd of December, the CFS then tries to build pressure back in across Central and Eastern Europe, low pressure up towards the north. There's our stronger jet stream. It tries to put the jet mainly across northern Scotland, across northern parts of Ireland, and keeps southern parts of the country in higher pressure. The big question is exactly where will that jet be? A little bit further south, most other areas of England and Wales are in more unsettled conditions. A little bit further north, and we dry for most places. Now, at the moment, I favour the idea of the jet stream being a little bit further south, so perhaps taking most parts of the country into these more unsettled, windier, wetter conditions. And then on to week 3 again. It's a long way away, so you kind of believe it at your peril to some extent. But you notice here, again, the CFS trying to build pressures down to the south, lower than normal pressure out towards the east. It's got the jet somewhere in that sort of shape there, so it builds a ridge through the country. You could kind of see this happening, particularly across southern areas with some dry conditions there, but staying in that mainly westerly flow across the north. And then heading into week 4 from the 31st of December through to the 6th of January next year. And the CFS today has gone for the idea of lower pressure being up towards the north, of an unsettled southwesterly flow. And that's where it has been pointing for several weeks now, the idea of January becoming wet and windy overall. And it tries to do that into the first week on this morning's run. Now, again, believe it at your peril, this is likely to change. It's just to give you an idea as to what the models are suggesting at the moment. But I have to say, it's really low confidence in forecast detail, really from next Friday onwards. But of course, we'll keep you updated here throughout at weatherweb.net. So for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.